Thirsty on the east side of town? Well, head to a WNST favorite, King Discount Liquors on Pulaski Highway, just inside the Beltway. They have it all.
I'm Johnny Bev down at King Liquors. Come and see me for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer.
Don't forget to give the King a ring.
Unapparent, and I'm hard-pressed to figure out why. I know one of the candidates that they interviewed told me, you know, when he went in and said to them, why are we going through this? You guys tell me why you've got me here if you're going to just give the job to Greg Williams. And he said that they told him, we don't know Greg Williams all that well. We dealt with Joe Gibbs. We know Greg Williams is under this roof and worked in here, but we just don't know him all that well, and we want this to be a process. But to have interviewed the guy, and now saying 3 times, not 4, and then to just bounce him the way they did, it's a pretty confusing thing. And you know, I do think it'll be Jim Fossil now, but
really,
it's kind of a bass-ackwards way of going about things, where you're hiring a staff and then suddenly you're going to hire the coach to come in and be on that staff, and be leading that staff. It's a bit unusual, but then again, Dan Snyder does things in an unusual way.
I know Casey's got a couple questions for you as well, but I want to throw something out real quick about the Redskins. They strike me as a team that we could be sitting here next year. They could be in the Super Bowl. They could be next year's Giants. So why they would, and I know, again, I realize that Gibbs quitting wasn't all on wasn't their fault, but they strike me as a team with a little bit of continuity and a good draft and a couple of good signings and some good luck. They could be here next year from the NFC.
Let me stop you there for one thing. They do have a pretty good talent base. They've done a good job. Good draft.
Yeah, right.
When have they ever done that?
Right,
They don't want to draft.
That's why I said they got
a good free agency, because they'll go out and spend money again, even though they're way over the cap. But
who knows how that happens?
Bookkeeping figure. They'll get down again. But good draft. I mean, that's part of the problem. But no, they could be here. And
Campbell looks like he might have it, right? Speaking of good drafts,
I like him personally.
Yeah.
And I like him as a player, and I think he's got it. Yeah, and. I mean, they could be here. So to do what they did, to kind of blow it up a little bit,
right?
It's very confusing, but that's the Dan Snyder way.
What's going to happen in Oakland now with the whole resigning and apparently Al's interviewing?
Wish I knew the answer to that one. I mean, we were talking about it this morning a bunch of us. I just see Al doing what Al does, and that is letting Lane Kiffin dangle there in the win for him. I mean, he owes him 2 years' salary. Al is not going to. Lane Kiffin is not going to resign and not get that money. On the other hand, Al isn't going to fire him and pay him that money. So you have this eyeball-to-eyeball standoff where it's just ridiculous what Al's doing with that team. But it's Al's team, and I guess he can do whatever he wants. But it's certainly counterproductive to try to win football.
Exactly.
You know, he's always liked Denny Green a lot. He's got James Lofton in there today. They claim to interview for the receiver's job. Who knows? I think he's interviewed James Lofton before for the head coaching job, if I'm not mistaken. He wants to bring in Al Saunders. He's always liked Jim Haslett, who's the St. Louis defensive coordinator. But who wants to take the job? That's the thing. You know, there are only 32 of them, though, so he'll find somebody to coach this team. It's not Lane Kiffin.
Len Pasquarelli with us from ESPN.com here on Radio Row. Good to visit with him as we start our Super Bowl 42 coverage live from the Phoenix Convention Center. It's 4 o'clock back in Baltimore. I hope you guys are having a great day. Len, in Baltimore, obviously now with the Harbaugh hiring, the dismissal of Brian Billick, and this new era that's being shuffled into Baltimore, and Harbaugh untested to the degree that he's never been a coordinator, clearly. What's the most important thing going forward now for the Ravens? Is it going to be the quarterback situation, or will it be the defense sort of, for one more year maybe, being willing to take this thing and run with it and be the reason why the team wins while they get organized?